Welcome back to Keep the Momentum. Before I introduce my guest, I would like to explain to you guys again what Keep the Momentum is. And our little friend here. So, before I explained, Keep the Momentum is a place where we could talk about purpose and passion. But I wanted to tell you guys a little bit more. So, we actually talked today and talking about her interview. And I wanted to explain to her, I'm not interviewing you based on your success, because I feel like there's many different definitions to success. And it's not always measured by your financial stability or whatever else comes into play. Keep the Momentum is about the mental state. So when I talk to people, I want to know more about how they got there mentally and what type of preparation it took for them to get there and how they stay there. So today, that's basically what this interview is going to be about with my sister, the one, the only, trust me, the only, Alyse Coleman.
Yes!
I have been trying to sit down with her for like the longest time. And I feel like, everything happens for a reason and at the right time. And I feel like right now is the time for us to really sit down so people can know more about you. Mm-hmm. Because people only know what's at the surface. You have a braids page, you have your regular Instagram and stuff like that. So, people base their perception off of people with social media and stuff like that. Right. And everybody knows you as this funny girl. You're always yourself. You're so real. A lot of people may have seen her in the motherhood video also, which actually showed a little bit more of who you were as a person. So I'm happy that we're going to sit down and talk more about that. So tell us about yourself. No, I'm just really? I'm just kidding. So, I guess we could start off with, how you grew up. Where did you grow up? And, how'd you get to where you are now?
Okay. So, first of all, I want to say this is really extremely awkward because I'm talking to you as if I don't know who you are. And right. We know every single thing about each other. Okay. Yeah. But for you guys, let me reel you in real quick. I was a boy.
See?
By the river. In a little tent. Okay, for real. Okay. Now, I don't know if everybody knows, but like Celeste said, we are sisters. We have the same mom. We have the same mom. We have different fathers. So, my upbringing, although we were in the same household, I feel like it's different from hers. I was born in Oceanside. She was born in Hayward. I grew up in Union City / San Leandro, then took a slight turn to the left and came out here to Stockton at about 17. She pretty much grew up in Stockton, so that's that. What the?
So I know this sounds like an autobiography, but
it did.
So I want to know, because like you said, we already know a lot about each other, but I kind of want to be transparent to where it's like I don't know anything about you. Okay, because there's a lot of things that you've been through that I don't even know emotionally how you were thinking at that point. And so I want to know, because I know how your childhood was, but I feel like that is something that a lot of people need to hear. So how was it growing up with separate not a separate household, but me having both the parents, don't include me, but how was it growing up without your own father in the house and having a stepdad, and what that propelled you to do or where you were in your next phase of life?
Okay. So in the beginning, okay, so my mom has been with my stepdad since I was 3 years old. So early on, I guess it was good. And then my sister was born. And eventually, like, that's when I started to feel different. Like, I started to feel like okay. So let me think, because different people in your life, like, say things to you as a child, as an adult, or whatever, and it holds like an impact in your life. And I remember not knowing that you were my half sister, or whatever, until our grandma Grace.
Yeah,
gotta be specific because I have quite a few grandmas.
Right.
Okay, I only have 2, but Grandma Grace introduced me to this book. I think it was Grandma Grace. She introduced me to this book, and it was called My Half Sister. And she was trying to explain to me that you weren't my real sister, like that.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of just like it put something in my head, like, okay, that's why. Like, I knew that you, like, you know things,
but not.
But like when it's brought to your attention, like, for you to understand the way that they want you to understand, is it becomes different. So I believe that's when I started to feel different, and that was like around 10 years old, maybe. Now I'm just throwing numbers out there because I have no idea. Yeah. I could have been sick. It could have been when you was first born.
Yeah.
Wait, no, hold on. I wouldn't have been 9 years. Okay, because we're 9 years apart.
It probably was around that time then, yeah.
It could have been like 11.
Yeah.
Because I started to feel, okay. So that's when I started noticing, like, the difference in the way that we were being treated. And actually the difference, okay, let me rewind and play that back. When I was 13 years old, I was in the 8th grade, and that's when everything started to turn. Like, I would say that's when I started getting into boys, but I've been into boys.
When?
Like, I had my first boyfriend in the 4th grade.
That's interesting to me. You know why? Because I feel like a lot of kids are into boys, but, like, we'll talk about that later.
What was you gonna say?
Because when we were talking earlier about why I think your story is interesting, because a lot of what you learn has been through men. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of your life lessons have come from different situations you've encountered with men, and you learn something from each of them about yourself.
Right.
And I feel like we all learn something different from different situations. Mm-hmm. It just depends on how God or whoever you guys believe in puts it in your life. Mm-hmm. So I think that's interesting.
Yes.
We need to finish talking about
it. So it was in the 4th grade. His name was Jesse. It was a white boy. And I don't even really remember the relationship. That wasn't really no relationship. It was just my boyfriend. Mm-hmm. So, but 13, like, I just started feeling myself, basically. And it was kind of like, it was to the point where it was just like, you're not my dad. And as far as my mom, I don't even know why you're saying anything to me, because I felt like, how can you... Mom, please do not take any offense to this, because I know that you are, but you already know these things.
This is real life stuff too. This is how you feel.
Yes, this is how I feel. It's how I felt. I can't really think of like a specific example. I can just only tell you like the feelings that I felt based off of you and your dad's relationship. Mm-hmm. Because Mom wasn't an affectionate person.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. And some kids really need it. Some kids don't. I happen to be one of those kids who could do better with it.
Yeah.
And so that I don't start looking for it, because at 13 is when I started looking for it.
Okay, that is a key question right there, because I feel like that is basically what I was saying. Like, I feel like a lot of your experiences have come through men, and that is huge right there, because you put the pieces together yourself already, and a lot of people don't do that. So you feel like the reason why you were so into guys already at a young age is because you weren't getting it at home. That's huge.
Yes, yeah.
That's huge.
Of course, I didn't know it then.
Yeah.
Like, it really took, like, as me, like, getting maturity.
Yeah.
It took a lot for me to get to that point of realization that that's what it was.
Yeah.
But sorry about this.
Our furry friends.
But if we would have locked them away, it would have been a lot of crying and barking. Okay, so okay, I would go to my dad's house in the summer times. I don't remember if I went to his house every summer, like from what age to what age. But what I do know is that I would go to his house. He lived in LA, and my dad was on drugs. My dad has been always on drugs, whether it's meth or prescription medication. But it's always been like that. So I would go to my dad's house for the summer, and when I went to my dad's house, what made me enjoy it the most was my stepmom. Like, my stepmom turned to be like, she ended up being like my best friend. Like, even though she was older than me, like, she was so cool. She would she would talk to me as if, like, you know, she really cared about my love life. And stuff like, I'm sorry, hold on, go in your cage. I can't even think straight. You know, like, it was just cool. Like, we would go places together, we would do stuff and all of that. And I also had brothers and sisters over there. Well, at that time it was only a brother and a sister. I'm the oldest of 8. Is it 8?
I don't even know.
Let me think real quick. Let me just do the math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Whatever the number is.
I don't know how many of us there is.
Okay. I'm the oldest. So when I used to go visit them, my brother and sister used to wish that they had the type of... Well, okay. Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, so to make this
I was getting to something.
You felt like you and Julia's relationship was what you needed at home.
Yes, that's what I wanted the relationship with my mom to be like.
And then Fantasia and Oren felt like what you had at home is what they wanted.
Yes.
That's interesting.
And they felt that way because my brother's always been a mama's boy, but my sister, she wasn't really she wasn't like a mama's girl or anything like that. And then she couldn't really get close to my dad like that either because of my dad being on drugs. And at that time, my dad was pretty sure he was doing something. He was something to the extreme.
Yeah.
And he has like a really bad temper, and so like and then he's paranoid, and so my life, my summers would consist of a lot. Fun with Julia, skeptical with my dad. Love him to death, but got to be really careful. You can't whisper in another room. Like, you don't even have to be whispering. You can't talk in another room if you're not talking loud so that he can hear everything you have to say. My dad tried to put his hands on me for the first time that I can remember when I was 16 years old. 16 years old, he pulled a belt out on me. Like, because of his paranoia and him on drugs, thinking that somebody was in the house. Whatever. That's for another age, because we're still at 13 here. So anyway, so that's what it was like over there. Like, my dad showed me affection, but it wasn't like soft.
What do you mean?
Like, it wasn't like, it wasn't easy. I don't really know how to explain it because it wasn't consistent. Like, I knew that he loved me though. Like, I knew it. He would tell me, he would give me hugs and you know, with all that. But the difference between me, okay, so the difference between that house and mom and stepdad's house was that Julia gave it to me. My dad did too, but something altered his true self. And then, but with mom, I felt nothing. Like, I felt nothing. Mm. Like, I felt like when I do something wrong, my stepdad gets mad. Him and my mom get into an argument. It's always about me, and she just like, well, I felt like it was always about me. It might not even have been always about me, but I just felt a disconnect in that house.
Yeah.
I felt a real disconnect. And so I met this boy when I was 13. Oh, I must have been going on 14 because it was like the summer before high school. Mm-hmm. And he stayed in Oakland. And it was like, it wasn't like a real relationship. It wasn't a real relationship. And I had this best friend who lived downstairs from me. And we were best friends for a long time, from like the 3rd grade and up. Okay? And so, and she had a boyfriend. So, and they lived like around the corner from each other. So I would go to his house, and then she would go hang out with him or whatever. And then, like, that's how it was. But I looked at her boyfriend like as a brother. Mm-hmm. And because it was just easy to talk to him. Like, you know, we was cool. Like, he would call me often, you know, and talk about my best friend. Like, not talk about her like that, but like, we would talk about her. Like, we'll just talk. And then it got to the point where he started really confiding in me. And I had broke up with the dude that I was with around the corner because he just wanted to take my virginity. Mm. And I was scared.
Yeah.
And so I was telling him about that. And so he was basically telling me that I didn't need nobody like that in my life. Blah, blah, blah. Like, from a brother's perspective. And then he started telling me about how he didn't want to be with my best friend anymore. Which, to this day, I can't remember the exact reason why he didn't want to be with her no more. But he didn't want to be with her. And oh my God, this is shameful. He had told me he didn't want to be with her no more, and this is like, at this point, at this part of my life, when I look back at it, even then, it's a very shameful like part of my life, because I started talking to him. And I'm not going to really go into too much details on that part because the book that I'm writing is going to explain all that.
Be on the lookout.
It's going to break all that down. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Anyway, I ended up in a relationship with him. So, that was, I would say, like the beginning of 9th grade. I was still 13 because, never mind, I was 14. Mm-hmm. Because my birthday was a month before school started. So, yeah, I had just turned 14, and I had gotten in a relationship with him, and he made me feel loved, what I thought was love was supposed to feel like. She's in the trash can.
Star? Come here.
That's what I thought love was supposed to feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who is just like gives you compliments. Mm-hmm. And because mom didn't give compliments, she didn't like conceited people.
Grandma Grace is like that too.
Yeah. No, she gets compliments though.
She'll tell me though, like, I don't want to tell you too much because I don't want your head to get big. But she'll give them, but she'll tell you that too.
Yeah. That was like another thing too, because I remember all the time, like, Mom does not like to, she don't give out compliments like that. Like, and once again, like, some people need that. Okay.
Yeah, and you found it somewhere else.
Yeah, I found it, and I found a lot of things in that. So to sum that relationship up, he ended up getting shot in his head, and he was in a coma. He was in a coma for a week. He got shot March 27, 2003, and then he died April 4th. So while he was in this coma, there was females coming up there talking about they was his girlfriend. I had no idea that he was even cheating on me. I was so naive when I look at it. Like, I was so naive. I'm not going to place all the blame on him. Again, this is all going to be my book, but I feel like I got to say this part to lead up to where I'm going.
Yeah.
But I did cheat on him first. I don't know if it was first, second. I don't know who cheated on who first. But I was cheating. I'm not even going to say it was one time. I'm going to be all the way honest. I was seeing somebody else. Because it was like, that was just, when I'm not getting enough attention over here, then it's easy for me to go get it somewhere else.
That is a topic that I'm so happy we're talking about, because a lot of people think only guys feel that. Like, only guys are like that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's big just being a human in general. Like, if you don't have something right here, you're gonna try to go find it somewhere else. Like, right. That's the way we are. And if until we're whole inside, you're gonna look for things in other places when it should all be in you. And we are only supposed to be with other people because we want an addition onto our life. So it's interesting to hear that, especially since you weren't getting it at home.
Right, exactly. And I really wish I knew everything that I know now, because that wouldn't even have happened. But then again, it probably needs to happen. Yeah, so whatever. Why did I just do that fake ass laugh?
But I was like, she wants to keep talking. You guys. Oh my gosh, that was so fake.
What the fuck was that? What did I do?
That's her camera voice.
It was. I said. Okay. Back to that. What was it? Come on.
So, what do you think that his death did?
Oh yeah. That's what I was saying. I cheated and then he cheated. So basically, I had ended up running away. I ran away from Mom's house plenty of times. As I got like 16, that was probably like the first time I ran away. I was always running away, going to go stay at my friend's house because my friends was able to do things I couldn't. I could never do anything. I was always in trouble. Always in trouble, like always on punishment, like just always something. And so eventually, after the boyfriend found out about me cheating, I ran away that last time, and I moved in with him and his mom. And I only moved over there because I wanted to prove to him that I was not going to cheat on him no more. Like, look, you can watch me. I'm not going to be doing anything. I'm just going to sit here with you. I'm not going to school. You not going to school. You in the streets. I'm in the house. Like, just to prove myself to him. So when he was in that coma, and then I see these females coming in there claiming to be his girlfriend, my mind was just like, it took me so many different places, because he's about to die. I'm hoping he's not about to die, but that's just what it's looking like. He on life support. They said if he made it, he was going to be a vegetable. He wasn't going to remember. He wasn't going to know how to talk, walk, anything. And so I'm mad and I'm sad all at the same time. Then April 4th is the day that he died. So when he died, at the funeral was the same thing. A lot of different females stuff crying over him, and at that point, it was just, everything was just so confusing to how I was supposed to feel. Mm-hmm. It was so confusing. The combination of being mad and sad, it really took a toll on me. Like, before he died, he talked about us going to Job Corps because we had dropped out of school. And the day before, I keep on going back and forth, but the day before he got shot, we had the longest talk that night. And he shedded tears and everything, and was just saying that we need to change our life. And that the next day he was going to go back to the West, going to get his last bit of things or whatever, and then come back home. And then he was going to leave the streets alone, was going to go to Job Corps, blah, blah, blah. So he died April 4th. Job Corps called me on like a week or 2 weeks later and asking me to come. Like, was I still interested? Hell no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Job Corps. I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm not doing anything. Like, I still stayed at that house when he died, still sleeping in our room together. Like, just, it was just a lot. Anyway, his mom ended up saying everything happened for a reason. You know, even though we didn't want it to be like this, like, it's for you to go. Like, you have to go. Like, you need to go to Job Corps. So I went to Job Corps. I went to Job Corps April 20th. I didn't even give myself a month. I'm still, like, all over the place in my head. I didn't know how to cope with it. I didn't know how to be with people, deal with people, talk to them, anything. Like, so I started to use drugs.